Recipe Magic Kitchen. I'm Darren Adams, coming to you today from this beautiful home. It's an ivory home kitchen and it is just fantastic. And today I want to introduce you to my new best friend, Genevieve Hill from Being Genevieve. This is going to be a fun little dish here, and what are we making exactly?
We are going to make that cinnamon burst bread that you see in all kinds of stores, and
this is like the one like famous bakeries I go in.
Right, famous bakeries.
Yeah, when I go in and they're like slicing
Yes.
me a slice and I say, oh, I want some of that cinnamon burst stuff. This is it?
This is it, and it's super easy.
So I don't have to go to that bakery anymore?
You don't.
I can do it myself?
You can do it at home for like pennies.
Okay, or I'll just call you, say, Genevieve, can you make me a loaf of that bread,
anytime.
right? Okay. Okay, what do we do to make this here?
Okay, this is so easy. I know lots of people are scared to make bread, and they shouldn't be.
I'm one of
It's
the
so
scared.
easy. You just throw in 2 cups water. You're not going to kill your yeast if it's too cold.
Does it have to be warm or tepid?
You know
or
what, I do
lukewarm?
warm. It doesn't even matter. If it's freezing cold, it
How
will
can it
still
not
rise.
matter? It's like yeast that you're doing here.
Still won't, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeast is actually more resilient than you think it is. So you need to throw in your yeast and your sugar, and you can even just throw your salt right in. I know lots of people are scared your salt's going to kill your yeast. It's not going to.
You have like magic yeast, I think. 'cause
I don't think so. It's super easy. Okay, and then I've got 5 cups of flour right here. You're just going to throw 2 tablespoons of butter in your flour and just kind of break it up into a few pieces. It's just room temperature butter. Just throw it in a few pieces because you don't want a big wad of butter in a bite.
Well, I don't mind a big one.
Well, then nobody else will.
Yeah, exactly. And the problem is the rest of your bites don't have as much butter. Yeah.
So throw in your flour and your butter. It's just 5 cups. Super easy. And then you just put it on. And you can mix it by hand or you can mix it in a mixer. You can just decide what you want to do. And then turn it on, and it's going to kind of come together really fast.
So you just let it mix up like that?
Just like that. You just throw it in. You'll see that it just came together within minutes.
Why do you like the Bosch for that?
I love the Bosch because it's what I grew up with. My mom used it as a child when I was a child, and it's just what I know.
Okay, so it's
But
like
you
you're
can use
like
a-
old homeschooling. Okay,
Yes.
so that just comes together, kneads
It just
together.
comes together, and then you're going to end up with, let's move this so you can see. It's just going to come together in this nice dough. You just have to mix it for 3 or 4 minutes, and then I like to knead it by hand. You can have it knead in your machine, or you can knead it by hand. Now, I'm going to have you help me knead.
Okay, because you know that's my fear. It's
Yes.
like the kneading thing.
Okay, one
I'm
thing you need to
afraid.
remember about putting your flour on your counter, don't do too much. Okay, you just want to dust your counter. You don't want like a big pile of flour, okay? Okay, so to knead, here's the trick with kneading.
Okay.
You get your dough, and you kind of stretch it and fold it in half, and then you kind of roll it away from you. Now you turn
It's
it.
sticking.
Okay, get some more flour on
Okay.
you. Use all the flour you need.
Because you just said don't use too much
I know,
flour.
I know.
And then you're saying, okay, because you know, okay.
You
So,
want it kind of tacky because that means your bread's going to be soft.
Okay,
If
I'm
it's
good
not
at tacky.
it'll be dry. So
Okay.
kind of pull it, fold it in half, and then roll it away from you. Then turn it and do the same thing. Fold in half, kind of roll, okay? And when it starts to stick on you, just get a little more flour on your hands. So you kind of just want to knead it. You can do it as fast as you want. I usually just knead this all in one lump. You don't have to split it in half or anything.
yeah, mine isn't going quite as well as yours, but
That's okay. Okay, once it's kind of put together a little, you'll see that it's kind of soft. This is where you're going to add your cinnamon chips.
okay. You have 2 different kinds of
I
cinnamon
have
chips.
2 different kinds. Okay, I really like this small kind because then you have little teeny bursts of cinnamon. Where this big kind, when you mix these in, it kind of almost turns your bread orange because there's so much cinnamon in each chip.
I will confess, while you weren't watching, I snitched some of these. These are nasty to eat. They're
They
like,
are. They kind of have a coating on them, but it makes it so it doesn't leave a lot of cinnamon in the bread when you knead it in. It leaves
Okay.
it as little bursts.
they're like
Where
little
this
bites,
kind,
pro encapsulated.
yes,
Okay.
where this big kind that's a normal chip size, it will kind of smear into your bread instead of stay together.
Okay.
So here's the trick. You need to take about half of these. This is 1 cup that you're going to put in 2 loaves. So kind of just smash it into your bread. Take about half. I know it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess.
It is a mess. Do I put a little bowl or something first?
No,
Okay,
kind of knead it in a little and then add a little more.
Okay.
Add your about half cup. Now, I know it's kind of messy, but it's the best way to do it. Then you're just going to knead it in. And as you want, you can go and you can pick them up with your sticky dough and get them all over the place.
That's the easy way to clean up. There.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just kind of like Play-Doh. Okay, so you just kind of knead it in.
And I'm using the same technique I was using before.
Yes, just
which
roll.
is getting goop all over my.
I know, get a little more flour if you're
Okay.
too sticky. But
Yeah.
you want a soft bread, so you want it to be slightly tacky. Okay, and after you knead it all in, we didn't use all of them, but that's okay. Usually use a full cup. I'm going to show you how to shape your bread.
And wait, but the big ones, we use the big ones
We're
yet?
not using the big at all. That was
Not
just
at
such
all?
an example.
Well, that's good because then I can eat
Yes,
those
you
afterwards.
can eat them all you want.
Because the little ones are nasty to eat.
They're the best in the bread.
Okay.
Okay, make sure they're kind of distributed well.
This is my
You don't want a big clump. But that's good because you didn't knead your bread all the way. And how you know your bread is done being kneaded, you don't just do it for a certain time. I know some people set a timer or whatnot. What you do is, when it looks pretty, this doesn't look very pretty, you actually push your fingers in and you want that impression to spring back and disappear. Then you know that all your gluten has formed. Yours looks lovely.
Does it? Did it work?
Looks perfect.
Okay.
See? Do you see how it
I
just springs
saw.
right back? Then you know that your kneading's done and your gluten has formed.
So I shouldn't eat it anymore.
No, you don't need to. You won't over knead it if you do it a couple more times.
I just roll around and pick up the rest of these cinnamon
Yes,
chips
pick
here on
them
the
all
camera.
up. Okay, now get a little, dust a little flour down,
Okay.
not too much. And this is how you shape your bread. I'm gonna give you my rolling pin right after I do this. Okay, you're gonna roll it out just to get rid of all those bubbles, because you don't want any bubbles forming in your bread. And when you roll it out, pick up your pan. This is a standard bread pan. It's an 8.5 by 4. You want to make sure that it's not bigger than your pan, or else you'll have those weird shaped breads where it like lumps on the sides.
Nothing worse than that, is
Okay.
there?
No,
Okay.
nothing worse.
Okay,
Here,
so
I'll
I
give
do
you more
this,
room.
and I
Just kind of roll it out just to get the bubbles out. I know
have this
it's,
weird funky
I
rolling
know,
pin.
it's-
I'm used to like the ones with handles on them.
it's a European rolling pin.
Can't they like afford handles over there in Europe?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Did I get the bubbles out? I don't-
Yeah, you probably
okay.
got all the bubbles out. You just don't want them to form when it raises. Okay.
Okay.
Now what you're gonna do is, this is called the head down, shoulders in technique. It's
Head down.
head down, shoulders
Shoulders in.
It's so that your bread, when it rises, your sides aren't peaked, like little mountains,
Yes.
because you're tucking those sides in.
Okay.
Okay, so what you do is you bring the dough down, bring the head down, then you take your sides and you bring them in. So your shoulders in.
Like that?
And then you're gonna do it again. Bring your head down. Oh, mine's really tacky. And then bring your shoulders in. Okay? Now you're gonna roll it down again. And then you're gonna get your shoulders, and you're gonna pull them in. Then you're gonna bring it down. And then you're at the end, so you just kind of seal your seam on the bottom. And it should fit in your bread pan perfect. You spray your bread pans with a little pan, or a little cooking spray. Okay, and now you drop it right in, and then you smash it. Distribute it throughout the pan.
Pretty much
Smash it.
all this work making this perfect
I know.
thing, and now I'm just smashing it
It's
down.
because it will rise perfectly now. Then you just put a little plastic wrap over the top. You can spray it with cooking spray if you'd like. I usually do just so it doesn't stick. But then you just put it over the top and let it rise. And then you just bake it.
How long do I let it rise?
Oh, you let it rise until it is
Double in size?
not
Up to the
double in
top?
size. Not double size. You just want it
One and
inch.
1/3?
1 inch over the rim.
1.5 or?
No, 1
okay.
inch over the rim.
Okay. Wait, 1 inch over the rim?
1 inch over the middle of it.
Okay,
It doesn't
so the
have to be
middle.
sides.
So
Just
I'm
1
getting
inch over the
nervous
rim,
here,
and
okay.
then you can throw it in the oven and you cook it.
Okay.
You bake it at 325 for 35 minutes.
It'll turn into that beautiful cinnamon
Yes, it will.
chippy bread that we all
Yes.
love so much.
Now, one thing you need to remember is you cooked with butter and you cooked with cinnamon, so your bread is going to be darker in color. But color means flavor.
So this is the finished product right here?
This is it. The recipe's awesome because it makes 2 loaves, so I usually wrap one up and just stick a tag on it and take it to a neighbor or a friend.
I'm close to your neighbor.
I
I've
know.
never gotten one of these, by the way.
I know I should bring you one.
I need to make sure you have my exact address there.
Take a bite. You'll see how soft it is because you
Oh, it's
worked with
super
that
soft.
sticky bread. I mean, that sticky dough. You want it to have it slightly sticky so it's soft.
And a little burst of cinnamon there.
And a little burst of cinnamon.
Okay. I might be occupied here for a while, okay?
Okay.
The cinnamon burst bread, it's going to be one of your new favorite recipes, and you know that you can obviously do it. Thanks for sharing with us.
Yes, thank you
Another
for
great
having
idea
me.
From My Recipe Magic. I could eat this all afternoon.